Hi everybody, welcome to All Games New and Old. I'm David Rodriguez.
I'm Hillary Rodriguez.
And today we are going to be reviewing Star Wars, the deck building game. This was published in 2023 by Fantasy Flight Games and was designed by Caleb Grace.
It's a head-to-head two-player game. It says it plays in 30 minutes, but that's not our experience. Most of our games were at least an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, it's, I want to think it's possible, but we did not come anywhere close to that. If you could do that, then Yoda man. But yeah, it is only two players. You cannot play it solo. So, at its core, and maybe in its entirety, it's really just a fairly basic, straightforward deck building game.
Yeah. The one area that does make this a little bit more unique than most of your other deck builder games out there is in the marketplace. There are specific cards for the Rebellion and specific cards for the Empire, and then there's a few neutral cards. And so one of the things that does make this deck builder game different is that you can actually attack the cards in the marketplace that are not with your alliance. And sometimes they will give you a bonus for knocking that card out of the marketplace.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big major difference. And other than that, whoever is the first to defeat either 3 or 4 of your opponent's bases, depending on the mode you're playing in, is the winner. So let's get to our art and component section.
Mm-hmm. So for the components, it's really simple. It's a lot of cards. I think that the cards are good quality. They're easy to shuffle. I don't think that they're gonna they'll probably bend over sometime. So if you're gonna play this game a lot, probably sleeving them would be a good idea. But overall, I think that they'll hold up for your general plays.
Yeah, there's got to be Star Wars sleeves out there, right?
I'm sure there is.
There has to be. Yeah, I have no issue with that. I think the various little plastic cube tokens that are your resources and damage tokens are pretty nice. The only thing I wish was a little bit nicer is there is a track that represents the Force, because as you go, the Force could be with one side or the other, and that can give you extra benefits when you play a card that the Force is with you. And that particular little track is really just this folded card thing, and I wish that was something a little sturdier, because I think that's going to get real flimsy pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I didn't really have any issues with anything. I mean, there's not too much other in those things. So.
The only other minor, kind of design flaw, or not really flaw, but the design component that I would change with the cards is the orientation of the Star Wars on the back of the cards. Rather than having it be the cards going up and down in Star Wars, I'd have it be the card be sideways, just because the cards will go in different directions depending on if it's Rebellion or Empire. And so if you're putting the cards away, or as you're shuffling the cards, they might be turned to kind of hint more at what side the cards might be on. So
yeah, that's true. As far as the art, it's Fantasy Flight, so in general they do a really good job, except for the Elf in Descent, Legends in the Dark. But other than that, Fantasy Flight does a great job, and I think this is no exception. I think all the ships look really cool. The characters look like who they're supposed to be. Excellent art, very consistent throughout, I thought. Yeah,
they even do a really good job of giving a lot of detail in the backgrounds of the cards as well.
Yeah, definitely. I really like it. Some of the ships, they the capital ships, I was almost not entirely sure if that was just the art or a screen grab or something, but it is just the art. But I mean, they look fantastic, so no complaints there. How do you feel about the iconography? One thing I've heard other people complain about was that the kind of markings of whether you're getting force or attack or resources were very small. I actually didn't have an issue with that, but I don't know, did you find they were too tiny or anything like that?
I didn't really have an issue with that as well. The nice thing is that they do give you cubes to act for your resources as well. So, it's if it was a normal deck building game where I had to scan all my cards to kind of figure out all the all the spending that I had, that might make it a little bit harder. But if you're using those cubes to represent your spending, I think it's okay. The thing that I know we talked about a couple times while we were playing it is the colorization that they used. They used red for the Rebellion and blue for the Empire, and that seems like it should be reversed to me.
Yeah, I mean, that might be how it is in the
And-
movies, too, because I feel like the rebellion symbol is red, but, like, I always think of red as being the bad guys in that situation. I just do.
And, well, as I think of, like, you know, Darth Vader's lightsaber is red, like, I don't know, like, it's one of those things where, like, it's fine, but, like, it just kind of was something that messed with my head a little bit when I was, like, taking a quick glance at the cards.
Yeah, the other kind of minor but related thing is some of the neutral cards will have like a lot of one of those particular colors just in the artwork, and so you look at it and you think, oh, that's a red card, so it's Empire, but it's not. It's a neutral one. So you really have to make sure you're looking carefully when those cards come out until you know them really well to know that it is, you know, belonging to one side or the other, because it's easy to accidentally turn those the wrong way thinking that it's Empire or Rebellion when it's actually not.
Yeah. Other small nitpick that we kind of joked around about a little bit was the bases cards. Other than the
Death Star?
The Death Star, they're all planets, and so, but then they are referring to the base that's on the planet, and so we kept calling them planets instead of bases, and so you know, if they could have like done artwork of the actual base, I think that I would like that better.
Yeah, I would have preferred that too. I mean, minor quibble really, but I mean, it would have been cool looking too. Nothing wrong. I mean, the planets look great, but I mean, you've seen planet art. This is not like uniquely special planet art. It's just planet art. So, you know, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, joining us for the theme discussion is an Ewok named Oreo. Doesn't say a lot, but we'll just be kind of hanging out for a little bit until she gets bored. So anyway, the theme, it's Star Wars. You've probably heard of it and seen it. It's I was kind of debating how much I thought the theme was integrated, and I think it's good. I don't know if it's like super tight. It has enough that it feels like it has enough that it feels like it is kind of tied in. I like that you're kind of trying to keep track of whose side the Force is on. That's kind of neat. That's kind of an important thing that you want to keep in mind. I do like that you can take out the cards in the center, and it's neat too because sometimes a lot of times the words are just resources, but some of them really make sense. Like if you take out Darth Vader, the Force is going to go towards the Rebellion side a lot, or Luke Skywalker. You know, that's going to dramatically shift where the Force is at. So that's really cool. I like that. And you know, some of the characters have things that feel sort of thematic, but you know, I suppose in some ways this could be skinned as a lot of different things, but it does work well for Star Wars. I just don't feel like I'm super into like Star Wars mode. This is not going to be like playing Star Wars Rebellion or one of like the really big super epic games, but it's got enough to keep me in the right mindset. But what did you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, the theme is definitely in the game, you know, but it does feel like a game that, like, you could be playing the same game and just have it reskinned as a different IP, or just a different theme, and it would still probably play pretty much the same. Like, they might make some changes based on the characters that are in the game. But the cards do make sense for the characters of what you get and what you're able to do. Some of the neutral cards, it makes sense that they're neutral, like
Jabba the Hutt, for instance, you know, because he's not really with either side. He's kind of doing his own thing. And there's lots of other like bounty hunter types that you might recognize from the lore. I don't think either one of us are so super steeped in Star Wars lore that we know all the side characters.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Like, we like Star Wars, but we're not. I wouldn't say we're super fans.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think it's fantastic, but it's just not something that I'm so deep into. So it's possible that a lot of people out there will know every single character and all the different vehicles and everything. I'm not that guy. I just like Star Wars and it's fun. So that's what it is. But I do think it does a pretty good job of conveying the theme, if not like being this super amazingly immersive experience.
Yeah. There are some characters that aren't in the game that, you know, but I know Fantasy Flight likes to do a lot of expansions, so they definitely have left a lot of room for expansions for this game too.
Yeah, because I mean, we're talking about major, like, there's no Yoda, no R2-D2, no 3CPO, no Palpatine, and probably a bunch more too that I'm not remembering, but there's a lot of characters that are not in there. So yeah, I'm certain there'll be expansions. I don't know if they're going to eventually do like the prequels and the sequels or not. I'd be almost amazed if they didn't. I think Jar Jar should just be out there and like anyone can attack Jar Jar. You can't even recruit him, you can only attack Jar Jar. Wouldn't that be great? I don't think it'll happen that way, but it should.
So overall, this is a deck building game. We like deck building games, so, you know, and we like Star Wars. So this seems like a game that we'd really like. And I do really like the game. I think that they've done enough in this game that it feels different than other deck builder games that we have and that we really like. And so it fills a different itch or niche that, you know, like if we really want to play a certain type of deck building game, like this is going to fill a lot of slots that some of our other deck building games won't. And so for me, I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, I really think in a lot of ways it's a very complete package. I mean, when you look at the art on the cards, it's phenomenal, as I mentioned. Love that. I love picking the Empire or the Rebels, and, you know, their cards that they're going to get are all going to kind of focus a little differently, so they do feel different. The bases are really cool, because especially when you play the advanced version where you have all 10 bases to choose from, but you're only going to play possibly up to 4 during the game. That's really neat because you can kind of decide what you need in the moment or what you think will be long-term helpful to you. Lots of good stuff like that. It's just fun. And I really enjoy being able to attack the cards in the row. Because I will tell you something. If you're playing like Empire and Darth Vader comes out, you better be ready to buy that guy soon, because I can guarantee you the Rebellion is going to be trying to take out Darth Vader, or Leia, or Chewbacca, or Han, you know, any of like the big names.
Yeah. Like,
oh man, those guys are targets. But if you can get them in your hand, it's awesome.
And it's nice. The game is balanced enough that if they get knocked out, you're not over with. Like, I won the games without having. I think Chewbacca was my biggest name character, and you know, like as far as the name characters in the game, like he still isn't like super high up there. So, you know, it's awesome when you can get those big name cards, but it's not devastating if they get knocked out either.
Yeah, definitely not. So, I mean, I think they did a really good job as far as balancing, and for a game that, you know, as a basic deck builder, it's got enough little twists, I think, to keep it more interesting than some others might be. And, you know, feels like recently we reviewed we reviewed Firefly Misbehavin', which was, you know, a Firefly deck building game. Similar, you had your different factions, but it felt so restrictive, and like how you could trying to do anything was like difficult. And this is not that way. You just have to get those cards before your opponent takes them out, and then you can play them. And your opponent is going to be trying to put their capital ships out, because if they attack you and you have capital ships out, they have to do the damage to the capital ships. Whereas if they don't, or if they can get past the capital ships, then it damages your base. So it's an interesting thing to figure out how much defense you want to put out there. And
there's a lot of strategy to it too, because like with the bases, like you have your basic first base, but after that, you get to decide what bases go out, and each base has a different ability. So that's gonna affect the game, just changing out the different bases that you use. And so there's a lot of different strategies in, like, okay, like, you know, like, I might have, like, 3 bases that I want to use each time I'm the Empire, but the order that I put them out might be different based off of where I'm at in the game when I need to change out my bases.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoy that quite a lot.
So for me, I'm going to give this a solid 9. I can't even really pinpoint exactly why I won't give it a 10, other than there's just a few, like, just really minor things that it just kind of adds up enough that I just don't feel like it's quite a perfect 10 for me.
That's fair enough. I think I'm going to give it an 8. I really like this game a lot, and I think it'd do more for me if it wasn't a fairly basic deck builder, even though it has like really nice twists that I like a lot. But you know, I think as expansions come out in the future, because I know they will, I think that might increase it even more. Because as much as there is a lot of variety, I think eventually with this box you're going to start kind of knowing everything. You're going to have seen it all, know how it all works together, I think. But if they do what Fantasy Flight usually does and start getting a lot of expansions out, I think this is one that could easily rise in my estimation. Mm-hmm. It's very tough for me to look at a deck builder and decide how much variety it has in it when we have like Marvel Legendary and like 30 some odd expansions. So that's admittedly a problem in my brain. But yeah, I'm giving it an 8, and it's like a high 8 for me. Like, it really is almost a 9. I can't quite get there in my brain, but with expansions, it very well could. And I think this is a great deck building game to start out with if you haven't played a deck building game, or if you just love Star Wars. I mean, you can't go too wrong with it. It's simple to learn compared to a lot of other crazy stuff out there. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. 8 and a 9 from us. So, are you planning to get this game? Please let me know, or do you want to just play it first and try it? Or are you looking at it and you're like, I hate this. Why did they make this game?
Or do you hate Star Wars?
Do you hate Star Wars? I don't know how to help you. But you don't have to love it, you know what I mean? You can be like us, just like it. You can play Star Wars.
And even, like, I mean, I think most people have at least some knowledge of Star Wars, but even if you don't have knowledge of Star Wars, the game is easy enough to play that, like, if you're playing with someone that doesn't really know that much Star Wars stuff, like, they would still be able to play the game.
Yeah, I think so too. So anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you can know about the next time we put out a video. Otherwise, I look forward to see you all around the table again at All Games New and Old.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, we now have a merch store, so help out the channel and check it out.
Yeah, all these games and the equipment and everything we do and costumes cost a lot of money. So anything you can do to help us out if you love our content would be really appreciated. We have t-shirts in tons of different colors and styles.
We have sweatshirts in a few different styles.
We have lots of you can drink out of, like coffee mugs, pint glasses.
We also have coffee tumblers and water bottles and a few other things.
Right. So,
the following announcement has been paid for by AGNO.
hey y'all, check it out. Brand new shirt. It's not just black, it's black and white. Get one today. You can get it with or without, for everyone on the back. You want something to drink? Is it Thirsty Thursday? That's what that means, right? We got something for your morning. Check that out. We got something for your day. And you know, we got something for your night. Get your drink on with that. Get a little cold outside? Check out this premium hoodie. Damn, that looks good. You want to look good? You need this hoodie. What's that? You want a little color? Don't worry. AGNO has got you covered. You don't like purple and red? Don't worry. There's plenty more. Just check the store. All these clothes, not too big, not too small, just too sweet. Don't forget, All Games New and Old is for everyone.
The preceding announcement was paid for by AGNO.
So yeah, that's how you can get pretty much any Kickstarter at the All-In Pledge level for free. So when you saved all that money, make sure you go to our merch store, spend some of that saved money to help us out. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. And today we are going to be, I just realized I don't remember the designer's name, Mother Front Door, Kayla Grace. All right, and today we are going to be reviewing, God damn it. Ah! Otherwise, look forward to see you all learn. So the only thing I'm really worried about is the little force. All right, so the only thing I'm really worried about is the only thing I'm really worried about as far as the God damn it. Oreo, shut up. Go see Maddie or something. The only thing I'm really worried about is the... If she does fire at my ships or at my base, there's, I mean, you just gotta take the damage. There's no way that I could evade her. Evade her.
So Aura pooped on the stairs.
What is with the stairs? What's with the stairs? Our dog pooped on the stairs. Our dog pooped on the stairs. Second time yesterday, or the day before, I stepped on that poop with my socks because it happened when I was getting up in the morning.
Actually, it's the third time.
If you enjoyed that video, you might also like this one.
Or this one.
If you like any of our videos, what you should do is click this little button to subscribe so you'll know about the next time we put out a video.
We'll see you around the table.
Bye.
Bye.